Alright, so here we have a bit of a different video here, and in today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how to replace the SSD in a Valve Steam Deck. Now, it is a pretty straightforward process, but I just figured I'd make a video because, well, I can. And I kind of, just feel like doing it. It could be helpful for some people who don't know how. But, yeah, with that being said, let's tear this thing apart. So, first up, we're going to want to use a Phillips 1-bit, I believe it is. And we're going to take all of the visible screws out, and just keep in mind they are different lengths. So as you can see, there's this one. Use a screw organizer here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those 4 are the same length, and 1, 2, 3, 4 are shorter. So do keep that in mind if you do take your Steam Deck apart to upgrade the storage, clean it out, do whatever. There are different size screws. It's kind of difficult to, there we go, hold it and get the screws out at the same time. It's a bit of a pain, but not a big deal. There we go. As you can see, last of the 4 long screws out. Then we're going to want to take out these 4. Again, same bit. They're about half the length, so do keep that in mind. Because if you put the long screws where the short screws go, you might not be having a good day, let's just say that. All right, and the last 2. Come on, you stupid screw. And last but not least, we have the last screw. All right, and with that being said, all you got to do now is pop this open. Oh, before you do that, actually you want to take this micro SD card out if you do have one. As you can see, the micro SD card is out. Set that aside, and then you can take a spudger like this one. If I can get it out. There we go. A little spudger like this. And you will pop the back cover off simply by putting it in between the groove, like, maybe not the groove, but the little slit along here. It's all around. Do that, and it should pop right off. I'm going to do that off camera because I can't have this camera balancing on my legs. Because I don't really want it to fall and break, and this sometimes takes a bit of pressure. But with that being said, I'll be right back. All right, so as you can see, the back cover is now off, and just to kind of sum up what I did is we have the back cover here. It sits on right about kind of like that. You want to take your spudger, kind of stick it in here, kind of pry up, whatever way works better. Usually you can do it from here to this side, and then you can usually just lift it up. That's how I've found to be easiest. Obviously it may be different for you, but that's how mine is. All right, after you get that back cover off, what you want to do is you want to just take a little gander at it. Looks pretty cool, right? Zoom out a little bit more. You see here you have your lithium polymer battery there. You have your triggers, bumpers, your fan, and then you have your motherboard cover, basically. All right. Why did you do that? Can you not do that, please? Thank you. All right, let's try this again. So we have this cover here, and what you want to do is you want to switch from your Phillips 1-bit. If I can get to it, you want to put that away. And then I'd recommend getting a Phillips 0-bit. Let's see. Right there. Bit smaller. And the reason for that is there's a bunch of tiny screws. Actually, the only 3 tiny screws. But either way, you want to peel this little cover up. Get your first tiny screw out of here. All right. Take that out. And again, it's a different screw. So you want to keep that separate. All right, and then you have a screw down here and a screw up here. Again, they are different screws, so you want to keep them separate. They're pretty small screws. Let me get this last one out. Just like that. And with that being said, you can just pry this cover up with your hands. Don't use tools. And it's going to be a little bit sticky because there are a couple of thermal pads here, but nothing too bad. You just peel that up, and yeah, set that aside. And here we are on the inside. Let's see. Zoom out a little bit more. There we go. Here we have your motherboard here, battery connector, which you do want to unplug, which I'll do in a second. You have your heat pipe, thermal pad, which is stuck to this for whatever reason, but either way, it doesn't matter. You got your RAM chips, you got your main APU there, power delivery, all that fun stuff. So then what you want to do is you want to take this power connector out. There you go. Just kind of pull it out with your fingernail. Just enough so it's disconnected, kind of like that. As you can, you probably can't see it, but it is not making contact with the pins, so that's really all that matters. If you want to go above and beyond, you can kind of go like that. Pop it out just a tiny bit so it can't slide like that, and you're good to go. All right. And then after that, you want to unscrew this. And set the screw aside. And voila, you have your SSD out. Just like, come on, that. All right. You will want to save this. This has to go on your new SSD. This is a RF shield to prevent interferences with the Wi-Fi card, which is right here. So here we have the old 64 gig eMMC unit right here. I'm gonna set that aside. And in here, we have the new drive. This is a 512 gig Rocket, I believe it's called. And then open her up. There it is. 512 gigs to be exact. All right, so all we're gonna want to do is very simply kind of slide this back on. Can take a little bit of finessing, but with enough finessing it will go on. I might have to turn the camera off because it might take a little bit to do this. Oh shit. Yeah, it's definitely the most finicky part of it, so I'm going to do that off camera and I'll be right back. All right, and after about a minute of struggling, I got it pretty much perfectly on. Should look a little something like that. Try and get it over most of the SSD as possible. Actually, this isn't quite perfect. There we go. So it should look a little something like this, and then all you want to do is slide this back into place. Take your screw. All right, and then we're gonna want to screw this back down. And basically just put all these screws back together, put your main cover back on here for the motherboard, and then put your back cover on, and that's it. But not quite. What you want to do is you want to get yourself at least an 8 gig flash drive with the Steam OS recovery file on it. We'll put a couple screenshots on the screen right now explaining how to do it. Basically, all you do is you go to the iFixit website and you look up Steam Deck SSD replacement, and you'll get a link for the Steam page that has the Steam OS recovery image on it. So you go ahead and download that on a laptop, and then you download what they call Rufus, which is used to flash and format a, say a flash drive with a boot image on it, like what's on this drive right here. You will flash that image to a flash drive. You will get yourself, where did it go? A USB hub or a USB-C to USB-A adapter, kind of, a little something like this. So you will plug this in into the Steam Deck, and then you will plug your flash drive into here, and then you just boot into the boot menu, reinstall SteamOS, and that's it. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this short little tutorial on how to replace your Steam Deck or upgrade your Steam Deck SSD. With that being said, if you liked the video, like it, share it, comment, subscribe. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.